Well, happy elected King Day. Inauguration Day. So welcome back to the channel. Yo, Cultural Confederates. It's Monday, Cultural Confederacy here. Happy Monday. Now, a little house cleaning because I do get questions about this in the comment section. Why do you say Yo, Cultural Confederates at the beginning of every video? Your icon is the most ironic thing that I've seen. You've got the Confederate battle flag with the Betsy Ross flag. What does it all mean? Well, the reason that I say Yo, Cultural Confederates at the beginning of every video is because it's a shout out to all those of you who believe in preserving great art, music, history, and culture. You believe in the free exchange of ideas, free speech. And the reason that I have the Confederate battle flag with the Betsy Ross flag in my icon, in my thumbnail, is because it also represents this fight of what we want to keep up, what we want to take down, who determines that. The viola clef that you see in my icon represents the forgotten in history, and the pen, this idea of the free exchange of ideas, free speech. And we do it with no fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles. Just shoot me my smartphone, and as I said, this mission, this crusade, to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. So Yo, Culture Confederates. Something to be ashamed of. So let's get to the news of the day. Now, the AP, because we've actually got three things going on today. Not only do we have Trump's inauguration, but today is Robert E. Lee's birthday, or I think it was yesterday, but we celebrate it on Mondays. And the AP isn't happy that Alabama and Mississippi still honor Robert E. Lee's birthday on the same day that we have MLK's birthday, or we celebrate MLK. But let's first talk about Trump. And if you think about it, the presidency has become like an elected king, the imperial presidency. So NBC News was reporting yesterday, pardon me, let me take a sip of my coffee. Clear my throat here. But NBC News was reporting yesterday that Trump's going to sign more than 50 executive orders on his first day in office. Now, these orders include immigration, federal workforce policies, and cutting off funding for climate-related provisions in Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. So basically, Trump's going to reverse what Biden did when Biden got into office. And Biden reversed what Trump did when Biden got into office. And then you had Obama reversing Bush's policies when he got into office. So it's a never-ending cycle, the elected king. Well, what Trump's going to do here, this is going to test the waters for the presidency because it's going to raise the question, does the president have the unilateral power? Does he have the unilateral power to withhold congressional approved funding? This all goes back to the Impound Control Act of 1974. Now, Trump also plans to reinstate Schedule F, and this would reclassify thousands of federal service jobs, and this paves the way for appointees allied with Trump. So we have these two factions playing out. When Biden was in office, or when he got into office, he got rid of a whole bunch of Trump's people and put his people in there. Now that Biden's out of office, Trump's going to do the same thing and put his people in there by reinstating Schedule F. And later today, Trump's going to attend this rally at Capital One Arena in D.C. So they have this inauguration this year. By the way, no insurrection? No insurrection in the Capitol? Trump didn't tell his minions to go and raid the Capitol today? So at any rate, Trump's being inaugurated in the Capitol Rotunda, I believe it is. And later on today, he's going to have this rally at Capital One Arena in D.C. In front of this crowd, he's going to sign all these executive orders. But here's what the founders had to say about all this. So Hamilton, in Federalist 68, he argued that the Electoral College would prevent the office from being put in the hands of somebody who was not qualified for the job. And Washington, Madison, and Hamilton agreed that demagoguery would either threaten or destroy this thing we call the United States, this republic. And Hamilton feared that such leaders would tap passions to sway public sentiments. Then you had the anti-federalists, such as George Mason, Patrick Henry, and Edmund Randolph, and they saw the presidency as an elected king, a return to the monarchy, which is something that they were trying to avoid. They also opposed the Constitution, a lot of things that were in the Constitution. In fact, Rhode Island was the last state to adopt the Constitution. They wouldn't sign the Constitution unless there was a Bill of Rights in the Constitution. But the Anti-Federalists feared an overbearing central government, too much centralized power. And they believed that the presidency, but to some extent Hamilton as well, they feared that the presidency would be birthed out of these cabals, and these cabals would determine public policy. And they would do whatever they could to get their person, that representative, whoever they're rallying behind, in office. And we're seeing that play out 200 some odd years later. So that's what the founders had to say about all this. So a quick video today, but before I end here, let's get to the AP. Because they are not happy. They are not happy that Robert E. Lee's birthday is being honored on the same day as MLK in Alabama and Mississippi. So just read you a snippet from the article here. It says, how it happened. Both men have January birthdays. Lee was born January 19th, 1807. Pardon. King was born January 15th, 1929. In the years after the Civil War, white politicians in southern states created multiple holidays to honor Confederate leaders and dead Confederate soldiers. So what? Alabama lawmakers in 1901 named a January state holiday for Lee. Mississippi did the same in 1910. President Ronald Reagan in 1983 signed legislation naming the third Monday of January as Martin Luther King Jr. Day to honor the slain civil rights leader. Well, I got a question here. Why wasn't this done as soon as this event with Martin Luther King where he got assassinated? Why wasn't it done then? Why wasn't it done like in 1969 or maybe during Nixon's presidency? Why wasn't it done like in 1975? Didn't happen until under Reagan's watch, pardon me again, in 1983. But it says here, states slowly added the day to their roster of state holidays. Alabama and Mississippi in the 1980s adopted Martin Luther King Day as a state holiday, adding it to their existing day honoring Lee. So wait a minute. So they added it to a holiday they were already honoring. So in other words, Lee's birthday came first because Lee was born first. So naturally, given the things that happened during the Civil War, they honored Robert E. Lee, who represented to some extent Southern values or people in the South. Robert E. Lee was born before Martin Luther King. Had nothing to do with racism, AP. It's just how the dates fall. Robert E. Lee was born first, and then MLK was born later. Robert E. Lee, 1807, MLK, 1929. Some other southern states at one time also had a joint holiday, but have ended that practice, leaving only Alabama and Mississippi with a single day honoring both King and Lee. Well, it really is up to the states what holidays they want to honor. They could have a pick-your-nose holiday if they wanted to. So I thought I'd share this with you. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can follow me at Instagram, hashtag Jason Composes, because I write music in my spare time. You can also go to X, Culture Confederacy at Culture Confed 1 on X, trying to do this in one take. Do it before I go to work. And now you can find me at Substack. This is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. I'll catch you next time, and y'all have a great Monday. Take care.